It's about 20 degrees here, and I am at work, and so I thought I would talk a little bit about working right now, because I haven't done this for a while. I haven't talked about my job or working, but today's a good day because it's so cold out, and I had just finished shoveling out my trailer. I have a dump bed trailer, and so you got to sweep it out, shovel it out, keep it clean in between different materials that you haul. So I hauled sand yesterday, and it was so windy yesterday that the sand was blowing around in the trailer and was destroying my eyes, and so I saved it for today. So that's what I just got done doing, and it's freezing cold, and I really just would rather not be at work today. I am grateful to have a job. These are two separate things. Not being grateful is not me. I'm very grateful for having a job and for the company that I work for. But aside from that, I've been doing this for a long time. I've been driving a truck for different hauls. I've done different types of work for a long time, and I am 54 now. I started driving when I was 21. Started physically working and driving different types of trucks since I was 21. So I've been doing this for a long time, and I think a lot of my frustration right now with it is I'm just tired. Like, many people can relate to this. It's just, it wears on you working 8 to 12 hours, sometimes 14 hours a day. And when you have a physically demanding job like this one is, it's a half and half. But there are some physical aspects to it, and getting out in the cold is not my favorite thing to do. I actually worked for a company back in the 90s. Back in the 90s, that sounds so weird. But back in 96 until 2014, I think, I was working for a greenhouse, and I didn't have to work in the wintertime. We always shut down in December, and then we would start back up again in March. So I really liked that job because I didn't have to work in the wintertime. I didn't have to go out in the cold and worry about, just being out in the weather. In the cold weather, okay? I don't mind being out in the warm weather, but anyway, that's not what got on my mind this morning. I was shoveling the trailer out. I was freezing. The wind's blowing. It's, not to mention, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, and I started thinking, because I like beat myself up sometimes, like, if I don't want to do something, I always feel like maybe I'm just being weak, or I'm being a wussy, or lazy, whatever. But then I thought, is it just because I'm a woman? Am I tired because this physical job is wearing on me because I'm a woman? And then I started thinking to myself, you've never had those excuses before. I've never thought that way. I've never felt like I was any different doing the work because I'm a woman. I've just always felt like that's just the kind of person I am, is that I like to have physically demanding jobs. I've always enjoyed the demands of physical labor. And it's not ever bothered me. I've never felt like, oh, I'm trying to prove myself, or I'm doing this because if a man can do it, I can do it. I've never felt that way. I've never had them thoughts. The main thing that I have realized with this kind of work and driving in general, having the position of being a truck driver and doing all different types of things, you know, I realized that part of the reason I'm burnt out or I'm tired of it, I'm not interested, it doesn't do anything for me anymore except for get me out of the house and give me a paycheck. I started doing this type of work because my dad is a truck driver. My dad actually owns had his own business. He worked independently, and so he did all sorts of things. I mean, he's hauled grain, which we did every harvest season. He's hauled dump trucks. We've done concrete jobs. We've done tile work. We've done landscaping. We've done all sorts of things in the trucking industry. And when I was working with my dad, okay? But the reason behind that is so I could spend time with him. I enjoyed working with my dad. I enjoyed just being with him. And so that made my job that much easier. We worked well together. So, you know, when you have a partner, someone that works well with you, your job isn't really a job. It's just something that you do because you enjoy it. And I don't have that anymore. I don't have the partnership of my dad. So it's kind of like, this didn't happen all at once. I mean, I didn't start feeling like this all of a sudden. It's just been gradually, I've started losing interest. I've been feeling like my job's harder, and it's not really harder. There's nothing I'm doing now that I haven't done before that's never been difficult. I have no physical restraints. I have no reason for why my job should be harder or even feel harder. And I'm thinking, well, maybe because I am a woman, maybe it is because I'm a woman, and I'm like, no, that's not an excuse. I don't feel like that's the right excuse. That's not the reason. So, and I'm like, and I can't just say, oh, because I'm single, because I'm the only provider and that's wearing me out. No. Okay, what about these, what about single men? Men have to work full time, just like women do. We all have to work. We don't have to, but, you know, it's a good idea to do that, because then you can, you know, provide for yourself and you can buy things and have stuff to support yourself, a house, you know, place to live, wherever it is. It could be wherever. But if you do work and you're a man or a woman and you have to work, you're going to be tired, you're going to be burnt out. And that's how I was feeling this morning. It's like, I can't make any excuses. There's nothing. Because a man, okay, say I use that excuse, say, oh, it's because I'm a woman and I'm burnt out and I'm tired. Okay, so is the man allowed to make that excuse? Like, oh, I'm tired, I'm burnt out. A man would probably not admit that. A man may not. I mean, he may, you know, I hear guys complain and moan and groan and cry and stuff, like just in general about doing things. But I'm talking overall, like internally as a man, I bet he doesn't really feel like a man if he was to say, I'm really tired, I'm done working and whatever, with himself. And maybe, you know, maybe some guys do. Maybe some guys just say, I'm just tired of working, and they don't feel any less of a man by doing that. I mean, that's fine too. I'm just talking in general, like excuses. Like, does a man have an excuse? Like, if I was to use that as an excuse, like if I'm a woman, I'm tired, I don't want to work, I don't want to do this physical labor, I don't think a man has that excuse. Or a man cannot use that because it's not the, I don't have the right words, but it wouldn't feel as strong. A man to me is someone who does not want to admit his weaknesses. That's the man, the type of man I think of when I think of a man. The way that a man is designed, a man is to be strong and to be a provider and a protector, and if he admits his weakness, then he may not feel that. And so I just don't think that's an excuse. You can't say just because I'm a woman I don't want to do this anymore. I can say that I don't want to do this anymore because my purpose has changed. That is logical to me. That makes sense. And that feels more reasonable to what I'm feeling than just to say, oh, I'm just tired, I'm burnt out, I don't want to do this anymore. Because that would mean that I don't like working, and that's not true. I do like working, but I've found out that when your purpose for doing something is gone, that's no longer there. For me, it's hard to have the desire anymore. It's like the desire has left to do the thing I'm doing. Does that make sense? Like, my reason before was my reward. I guess we could say that. We could say my reward for doing what I was doing, this same thing I'm doing, is that I had the company of my dad. That was my reward. That was my desire, my purpose, the satisfaction of it. That was the purpose. And I never knew that was exactly the reason why I was doing it. I always felt it was natural for me to do physical labor, to work, to drive, to travel. I love traveling. I love driving. So doing this type of work seems natural to me, and it has been, and it still is natural for me. But it's not satisfying anymore like it was. So that part of it is not because I'm a woman that I'm tired of doing this. A man could probably get burnt out on something that he's doing. I'm talking for both of us, that if your purpose has changed, maybe you've served your purpose. Maybe the purpose that I've been doing this for has been resolved. My dad has moved on. I feel it's not necessary for me to continue on doing this, if that makes any sense. It just feels like I need to find something different. Something else that serves my purpose now for the present time or my future. I don't know what that is. I've never had to plan for a career. I've never had to, because this was so natural to just do this kind of work. I never had to think about it. I never felt like I've had to go to work. I've never felt like I've really had to try to go get a job. I've never had to worry about that. But I find myself doing that, worrying about it now, because what if I don't do this anymore? What if I don't like anything else? What if I can't do anything else? What if I don't have enough knowledge to do anything else? Like, there's so many questions that I have about work right now and about where I want to be from here, because everything in my life has totally changed. Like, I don't know how to explain that, but I know things change, life changes, and I'm just going through the process of figuring it out. And what have I done to get myself to where I'm at, and why didn't I plan for this? I didn't plan for this, obviously, to have these feelings and thoughts, and like, for my desire to leave. I never ever thought I would get tired of this. This totally is throwing me off guard, I guess, because I can't explain totally. I can't explain totally. This beeper goes off whenever I get to 70 miles an hour. It's set for some reason. I don't know. I just wanted to rattle on about that because today's one of them days. I really don't like working in the wintertime. Even though I'm fine, I'm safe. I have good equipment to drive. I'm not worried about that. It's mainly just my position and how I feel about things right now. So maybe the summertime will change my mind. Maybe I'm just getting tired of wintertime and working in it. You never know. So anyway, that's all I got to share today. I just thought I would empathize with anybody else who maybe feeling like they're tired of their physical labor job, especially in the wintertime.